I've just done my first blood pressure when I got to the doctor's surgery. I listened to Ken Berry saying how to take your blood pressure properly, and my blood pressure was that. You can see that. So then I thought, right, calm down. So within 10 minutes, I did what he said. Don't have any clothing under the wrap. Sit with your feet flat on the floor. Don't cross your legs. Don't talk. Second one was that. Third one, this is within 10 minutes.
Annie, how did you find Carnivore?
Wow, I was very much impressed by Jordan B. Peterson over the years and followed him. And then, of course, I heard his lovely daughter, Michaela, talking about the lion diets. And I was just amazed at the impact and the health that this and the new life this has given Michaela. Personal reasons, really. I wanted my other half to be fitter and stronger like he used to be. And I was seeing him putting on weight. We tried so many ways of helping with that, and nothing seemed to work. So my platform now is to let people know how remarkable the carnivore diet has been for us. Okay, we're only 7 weeks in, but I've seen the most unbelievable improvements in him. And if you want me to, I can give you an idea of what those are. Basically, the snoring stopped within 2 weeks. The sleep apnea has virtually gone away. I'm not spending my waking nights listening to him holding his breath. He's breathing freely and quietly, which to me is worth every penny. And beside that, I'm sleeping like a log. I don't get any cramps in my lower legs anymore. I was eating a banana at night because someone suggested I had a banana to help. But as I found out with the carnivore diet, it's the actual hormones that we need from the meat that will go into my calves. I've not even had cramps since. I can't believe the amazing side of it. Like Jordan Peterson, I had an eye issue. Mine was called blepharitis, which I was told by my optician that it would never go away. And if you don't know what that is, it's like having grains of sand in your eyelashes, and it's itchy, terrible red. My eyelids were inflamed. That has gone. That has gone. I'm so impressed. My fingers, if I can just talk about my fingers, this knuckle, because I'm as a kid, a high-level basketball player, this knuckle has been so swollen. Look, it's really normal. I'm amazed. Doesn't hurt, isn't sore, doesn't crack anymore. And the most amazing thing, Dave, being from Scotland, you might know this, but certain people in the UK, I don't know if this is worldwide, like Bill Nighy, the actor, can have something in their body from the Saxons, and that means your little finger can fold. And I think if you all know Bill Nighy, he's quite like this now. This finger here, as you can see, is fairly straight now. That has been like that. My tendons in my hand, I've got a big lump here. Couldn't stand to touch it. Now look, I can press it, it's flexible, it's running up my finger, and I can almost straighten my finger. That is, to me, is remarkable. I don't know anyone else that's had that, but all I know is from eating beef. I know now ruminant beef being the animal that has more than one stomach, that chews food, so it ferments and takes out any bad in the meat so that we can absorb the pure meat, being bacon, lamb, goat if you want it, mutton. I eat quite a lot of mutton here. I don't know if that's a worldwide thing. These meats plus egg, all the protein from eggs, even bacon, some dairy, or dairy if you want it. But I'm at the stage now after 7 weeks of doing this that I've seen so many changes. My other half is now at the gym. He hasn't been wanting to get out the chair. He goes to the gym now every other day. He's an ex-rugby player. He's waiting for a knee operation, and that's primarily why I did this, because he needed to shift weight. And as we know, the doctors throw at you the BMI, which we know is absolute rubbish. It's a general term for people to lose weight. So the BMI was high. We've bought a set of scales which now show us our visceral fat. Mine's gone down from 10 to 8. I've lost a stone. Steve's lost a stone and a half. We are better than we've been as a couple in a long, long time. I train. I always have trained, but I feel now I'm doing sprint hit running. Sprinting. I'm sprinting. God, I was frightened to start with. But I sprint now. Just for 30 seconds ago, slow down. And I heard from a doctor. I follow doctors from all around the world religiously. People like Dr. Ken Berry, Anthony Chafee. There's Mindy Pouts. There's even a doctor, Hal Kramer, who has 5 care homes, and he's seeing improvement in Alzheimer's. Now, I lost my mum with that. And if I can help anybody out there with future parents going into this or going into themselves, I'm absolutely shocked. So if you want to follow Will Kramer, he will tell you the evidence about these elderly people improving with their Alzheimer's. So I am on a journey. I feel more in control of my life than I have in years. Thought I was relatively fit. I was eating a more of a Mediterranean diet, loving a bit of lovely bread when I had it, always covered in butter, eating veg, salad, and meat. All of our family have all eaten meat. But now I realise what a change. And the first thing I noticed, Dave, I went to scrape my tongue one morning and my tongue is now pink completely every day. And I just think, my God, what was that? I've had some really bizarre changes, and I cannot tell you that now I can freely do squats without my knees hurting. I feel like 22, like I used to. And I can also sleep on my hip now, whereas I couldn't before because my hips were sore. So all I'm saying is I want to get out there on YouTube and help anybody that wants to listen. I'm not saying if you're a vegetarian or vegan, change, it's up to you. But all I'm saying is if you want to believe anything I've done and Steve has done, 7 weeks in, I'm gobsmacked. A little thing I wanted to talk to you about, I went and gave blood the other day. Walked into the donation centre down in the south of England where I live. Everywhere I looked was chocolate bars, biscuits, sweet squash. Give blood. Eat before you give blood. Eat before you give blood. So when I went for my first first nurse to see, my hemoglobin went boom, dropped straight down because I got good iron, because I'm eating meat. Then she said, I've got to ask you these questions because you may not be able to give blood if you don't answer properly. And I said, okay, what did you have for breakfast? I said, 3 scrambled eggs. Well, I hope you had that with toast, because if you haven't had the toast, you might not be able to give blood today. I said, yes, I did have toast. Well, I didn't want toast. I don't eat crap like that anymore. I don't eat flour. I don't eat oils, processed oils with corn and oils that are rapeseed oil that people think is great, vegetable oil. The only type of little bit of oil I have is is olive oil, but my main diet is butter, liquid butter. I make mayonnaise, melting a whole pack, 250-gram of butter, and putting it into 3 eggs and whisking it up. It's the best mayonnaise you'll ever have. But I've got cupboards in my kitchen still full of crap. I didn't have the heart to throw them away. They're still in there, but I'm not tempted to eat them at all because I know if I start eating them, I'm going to get my dodgy finger back. I'm going to get my bad hip. And I am so impressed by everything. But in our society, we're pushed to give kids, anybody, sweets, flour products. The worst combination you could ever eat is cake, because you've got sweet, you've got flour, and you've got fat mixed together. I don't profess to be a professional in nutrition. I am not. I just know how to listen to my body. I follow these amazing doctors, and please look up Ken Berry, Anthony Chafee. I sat watching a debate last evening from Sheffield University or Sheffield, whatever it was. It had Chafee, Shaw, what's his name? The big guy. I can't remember his name. The big doctor.
Sean Baker. Huh?
Sean Baker. Yes. Sean Baker and 3 other academics talking about nutrition. You look at these academics and you look it up yourself. And I've got the name somewhere, which I'm sure, Dave, you can put in the messages underneath. They're debating nutrition and looking at vegetarian and veg against having an all-meat diet, a proper human diet, as Ken Berry would say. You can judge yourself if you watch this debate. It's academics, it's professors talking about this. But you just look at the 2 pro-vegetable professors and then look at the build of the 2 proper human diet, meat-eating carnivore doctors. Oh my God, it'll blow you away. They are so fit, so healthy looking. They look, well, 20 years younger than their true age. And I'm frustrated in England because I've not had the pleasure of meeting many people from England that know about this. So I feel I'm on a bit of a mission to help anyone that wants to know more. And I'm the English Carnivore gal on YouTube. I've posted my first video this morning, actually, because I want to get out there to people. It's only a short, I haven't done a proper video yet. But yeah, if anyone really wants to know a bit more, I'm happy to answer your email just to help you.
First, let me say congratulations. Second, let me say, I think it's impressive. 7 weeks in, and you're not tempted by the crap cupboard.
No, I'm not. I just don't want it. I don't feel hungry.
That's a really good result.
Yeah, I'm just amazed. I mean, if I feel peckish, I mean, this will make some people go, what? I mean, I don't talk to people that don't want to know. But if people ask me, I would tell them. I'll pick up a scoop of butter with salt on it and just feel amazing as I'm having a little treat for myself. And what it reminds me of is when I was a kid and I had a boiled egg with fingers of bread with loads of butter on, and you dip it in the yolk and it tastes of liquid butter. Oh, that's what it tastes like. You know, I make sure we've got plenty of meat, plenty of whatever we want. And recently, actually, last week, we're playing around with it as well because we've been having lots of belly pork with the crackling. Oh my God, amazing. A load of salt. We've been having lots of that, lots of chicken. And I said to Steve, look, maybe we've got to go back to the ruminant meat, the double stomach meat, which Jordan Peterson and Michaela talk about, and basically make sure we're doing it purely now because we're eating maybe once, twice a day now. I've got to be careful with Steve because he's had his gallbladder removed. So I do have digestive enzymes that he takes to make sure his food's digesting. And we did have a couple of weeks where he was grazing, so eating regularly. But now his body's more adjusted. I can't believe the change in him. He's a 5th Dan at Okinawan Goju Karate, and I want him to have his fitness back. I hear him now doing katas in the bedroom, you know, which he hasn't done for years. He's going to the gym. I mean, I'm just so impressed at the change in him. And mentally as well, I think it gives you a lift.
So I'm interested. I mean, maybe you kind of answered this question at the beginning, but I just want to clarify. You're 7 weeks in. Who convinced who, and how easy was it to convince? So did Steve convince you, or did you convince him, and how easy was it?
Well, if I start right at the beginning, Steve and I are ex-publicans. We've had pubs. I've been in hospitality all my life. We've run sports club. We ran Hammond Rugby Club. We've run the golf club. You know, we've been involved in food and beverage. So our hobby is food and beverage. Our boys, we sit around the table. We've got 2 boys. One's still in hospitality. And we are basically sociable people. I've got a cabinet to my left with more booze in it than most pubs would have. But we're so impressed by this. We're not interested. We've been to 2 parties lately. We both drunk sparkling water. I'm not saying we're never going to drink again. If I want to dip in and out, I shall. We've got some big events coming up, so we will have a drink. I don't want to let people to think it changed me and my social side, because that frightens people. But if I do drink alcohol now, I haven't had any since, but if I do, I'll have a couple of my favourites, cognac, or have some champagne if I can, because I deserve it. But then the next day I'll go back. I'm not saying to everyone you have to lay off everything. It's a change of life for us. So what happened was Steve decided he needed his operation to have his knee replaced. And we couldn't get that done because his BMI was too high. And you know, in the UK, that's what the doctors gauge everything as, is your BMI. He's never been a skinny guy, never will be. He's a big set guy. So we knew he had to have an operation. I knew he said, I'm going to do dry January. So I said, okay, if you're doing that, I'll do it with you. But look at Jordan Peterson, who he knows. Look at his daughter. We'll do an elimination diet. We will eliminate all the crap, basically, and we will see how we get on. And that's what we did. So we stuck with it. We did the 30 days. We were both feeling amazing. In fact, 2 weeks into it, I had a really good friend's 60th birthday. I went away with the girls. My best friend, Angela, bought some brandy. I ate some rubbish. That day, the day after, the weirdest thing happened. I don't know if you know what chilblains are. Yeah, when I was a kid, I had chilblains on my toes from wearing little welly boots, being outside in the cold. I must have been 10, never had them since. I do hot and cold dips most days, so I'm used to temperature change. While I was away, chilblains came up on my feet. I hadn't had them since I was 10 years old. I thought, what's going on? The day after I'd eaten rubbish. I don't know whether that's a coincidence, not had them since, but suddenly my toes were flared. I thought, what's going on here? Anyway, they're gone. I've not had them again. So I think eating and introducing, whether it was the bread, whether it was some of the veg or whatever I ate while I was with the girls and drinking the brandy, hope it's not the brandy, but whatever it was, made this come back. I had a couple of other ailments as well that I've been under the doctor with, which I won't go into now, but they appeared and they're long-term, old-fashioned things that I had years ago. So I don't know whether deviating from it was caused it. But anyway, we're 7 weeks in. We did the 30 days, no booze, cut out all the rubbish. Now we're 50 days in, 7 weeks in. Again, still stayed on it because we felt so amazing. Steve couldn't, I know he couldn't believe it. He's a man, he doesn't say too much about his situation, but my role on earth is to make sure he's the best he can be as well, I think. And basically, we're reaping the benefits of this 7 weeks in. So we're really looking forward to our future. We're not even 2 months in and seeing so much difference. And that was my incentive to do it, to get Steve getting healthy. I wasn't expecting to lose 3 inches off my waist.
Yeah, I mean, losing weight's always good, but when you had no intention of losing the weight and it just comes off, it's like, oh, that's awesome.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, to be physically the way I feel, to do sprint running in the mornings, to be up at 6:30, 7 o'clock and found this little track near me and I run and sprint, wait for the dog walkers to get out the way. And then I sprint 30 seconds, walk. Sprint 30 seconds, walk. And my visceral fat has gone down from a 10 to an 8, which is amazing.
And just for some context, is it okay to say your age?
Yeah, I'm 64.
That's another good advertisement for this way of life. You know, like it just makes you want to move.
Oh, definitely. I was getting out of bed in the mornings only 5, 6, 7 weeks ago, feeling stiff. I felt like, well, no, probably longer than that actually, probably November. And I was feeling like I had a tight rubber band around my hips as I got up in the morning. I think, what the hell's going on? I'm not going to believe that this is age, because I've always felt, age is a number. You've got to carry on. And my son bought me my cold dip, which is just outside the French doors here. And most days I have a cold dip in the mornings. I have a rower upstairs, so I do a bit of concept 2 on my rower in the mornings, building up. But But all of a sudden, I feel like I was when I was 22. I feel absolutely amazing. I cannot believe the difference.
Yeah. And that feeling when you get up in the morning and you have no aches, no pains, no stiffness, that's just out of this world feeling, right?
It is, and I forget that. But when I hear other people having interviews following Carnivore, following Dr. Berry, following Andrew Chafee, I think, hang on, that's me. I remember that. And it's like my finger. I noticed this all of a sudden and thought, whoa. It just gives you I feel younger. I feel like I'm up in the morning with the sunlight now. I always have been to a degree. But I just got that extra spark of energy now. It's quite incredible.
So how was it at the start for both of you? I guess because you were both doing it together, you were able to give each other a lot of moral support, but was there any kind of feeling like, oh, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do this in the first week or
No,
so?
I can honestly say not, because Steve's very disciplined. He did from 1986 dry January, and it's only the last 3 years that we've been traveling abroad that we haven't done it. So this, when he said he was going to do it, I knew he'd discipline, not drink, which is fine. Anyone can do 30 days. We all know it's a common thing now. So that wasn't an issue. But what I did do to start with, we've always bought meat. We've always loved meat anyways. Both our boys cut their teeth on ribs. We've always encouraged meat eating. But I think when we first went into it, we just didn't want to throw food away because we didn't want to. But we did buy loads of eggs. We bought loads of bacon, which we've always done. We go to our local cash and carry and buy big packs. What I did do is I shredded up cabbage very finely, and I stir fried it in a wok in butter, loads of butter, because I thought, this is a bit weird. Do we really always cut out veg? And it's only now that I've been following all this academic stuff that I realise, yeah. So I shredded some cabbage. So we'd have steak with a bit of cabbage, or we'd have lamb chops, or we'd have a casserole. And one other thing I do use is Irish sea moss. And I put that as a thickener in the casserole, so the gravy's thick. And that is full of iodine. You can buy it from Amazon. And it gives us that little lift. But to be honest, from the start, we didn't have any, they call it keto flu. We didn't have anything like that at all, neither of us. As I say, I was a little bit worried with Steve's gallbladder, that we made sure we did the right things. And I bought him digestive enzymes just to make sure that everything was working in that order. Because we know having your gallbladder taken out does have some consequences. Haven't gone on to the ox bile, which is an option if we do. We made sure we took our electrolytes. That's very important. We've always loved salt. We've always know about Celtic sea salt that Barbara O'Neill talks about on her blogs. As I say, I don't profess to be a medical or nutritionist or practitioner. I am just a mum with two boys that I like to think are healthy. One of them has an autoimmune issue. He won't listen to me at the moment, but I'm hoping he'll come round. I am putting the word out with people in my family, but that's up to them if they listen. All I can do is do what's right for us. And I think when people do see us out and about and drinking, if we go out and have a drink or not, we have spring water if we want it. But I don't really feel like having a drink. I feel amazing. As I say, I've got a cupboard full of the best cognacs there. I haven't even been tempted. In fact, we bought a lovely coffee liqueur the other day online because we watched it on a TV program, this new coffee liqueur. When it came, I just put my tongue on it. God, it felt so strong. And it was a coffee liqueur. We put that in our cabinet. It's there. I'm not saying we're not going to have our social gatherings anymore. We will. But if people want to come here and eat cake, I'll cook them cake. I won't eat it ever again. I will not touch vegetables, fruit now. I am happy on the carnivore. So meat, butter, eggs, and bacon is the law.
Awesome. Yeah. So you're both eating pretty much the same time and like 1 or 2 meals a day, or?
Well, I've just done, yesterday I did a 24-hour fast, which was easy. Didn't even feel hungry. And then we had a beef casserole last night. The day before that, we had steak and eggs in the morning. And then we had a mutton casserole in the evening. Steve might eat a little bit more frequently because of his gallbladder, but there's cut up sticks of cheese, there's cooked food in the fridge, you can just grab something. I think the truth of this is shopping, being prepared. If you're prepared, if we boil loads of eggs, I love the fact that I boil loads of eggs that have been on a boil for 7 minutes, so they're slightly soft in the middle, break them all up with butter, mash it all up. That's in the fridge if I want to scoop. But to be honest, I don't even feel hungry a lot of the time. And I know the benefits now of fasting. And if you are full, you don't want to eat, you don't get any cravings. And as I say, one thing I've just recently did because my doctor decided to tell me I had a high blood pressure. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I'm not on any medication, I don't take anything, I've got high blood pressure. So I've just been this morning and did my blood pressure again, and I stopped having coffee. Interestingly, I love my coffee. I've got a coffee machine that grinds the beans. Stopped having coffee this week, had a couple of decafs with double cream on the top because I can. I've just done my first blood pressure when I got to the doctor's surgery. I listened to Ken Berry saying how to take your blood pressure properly, and my blood pressure was that. You can see that. So then I thought, right, calm down. So within 10 minutes, I did what he said. Don't have any clothing under the wrap. Sit with your feet flat on the floor. Don't cross your legs. Don't talk. Second one was that. Third one, this is within 10 minutes. Now, I don't think I
What a
got blood pressure
difference.
for often. I know, incredible. That's in my surgery in their blood pressure machine. And I thought, that scares you. When you hear you got high blood pressure, it scares you and it makes the cortisol go around your body and think, hang on, there's something wrong with me. But interestingly, when I went to the doctor, she decided to dip my urine because I'd had a pre-UTI. I don't take antibiotics ever. I deal with it my own way, drinking bicarb soda and lemon mixed together. Got rid of the infection. She did a dip and said, wow, we've got an issue. You're high in ketones. And I said, no, I eat meat only. And she said, I know you said that, but that would put your ketones up, but they're very high. So she said, I'm going to get your blood tests done. So I've just been to the hospital this morning, had a whole load of blood tests done, which, thank God, she's doing exploratory. But off the back, I got high ketones, and off the back of the fact that I got a high blood pressure that I don't think I have. So she sent me for all these tests. So I'm interested to find out what's going on there because I feel amazing. And when I listened to Thomas Seyfried with his unbelievable follow-up on Otto Warburg's Nobel Prize for finding out that cancer is a metabolic developed by sugars fermenting in the cancer cell, and fasting can help and cure, and well, I won't say cure, but can help kill cancer cells. I will fast. I will fast if there's anything badly found in me, because I cannot believe. And if anyone wants to look up Thomas Seyfried, I think that's something that needs to get out in the world. And this is why I wanted to talk to you, Dave, because I feel in control of my own metabolic system now for the first time. And when I see evidence of people being cured of Alzheimer's, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, autoimmune illnesses, we need this in our world. And if I can reach anyone in any way that I can, this is my duty to do it.
it's really a powerful feeling, right? When you're in charge of everything yourself, especially when you go to the hospital or the doctor and you're thinking to yourself when they're talking to you, I think I know more about this than they do.
Yeah, especially when she said your ketones are high, you're going to have blood tests. So, hang on, you're a doctor. You should know this, you know? And even the fact that Dr. Berry has put on on his YouTube how to make sure the steps that your blood test isn't higher than it should be. And to say that 120 is normal when he's got evidence to say that it should be anything under 140, that scares people. And we cannot doubt that big pharma, the medical companies, and the food companies, we know there's evidence that they're all paying off education in universities to supply their books, the curriculum of what they're studying. This is so wrong. Kids are told to have your breakfast every morning. Eat breakfast, eat breakfast. My niece turned around to me this morning and said, I'm stopping. I said, I've always told Harry off every morning he's got to have breakfast. Harry's 13. Fit kid, plays football, lovely lad. I'm not going to tell him to have breakfast anymore after I've listened to what I've heard. I said, just give him plenty of protein, bit of fat. That boy's muscles will develop, and this is what it needs. As I say, I wasn't even planning to lose this stomach fat. I wanted to. I've tried to lose my stomach fat for years. Within a month, I'm wearing trousers I haven't worn in years. And I feel amazing. I'm looking forward to going on my paddleboard, putting my wetsuit on and being able to bend down and get on it. Because all this flab's going around my belly. I feel
It's an
amazing.
it's an awesome problem to have, but you have to resort to your clothes that you were wearing 10 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
So my wardrobe opened up a lot because I think more so guys, we don't do a lot of clothes shopping, right? So my clothes are the clothes that I've got. If I get it as a present or something, then that's new clothes.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of stays in the cupboard, and you get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then suddenly you realize, oh, all that stuff at the back of the cupboard is wearable again. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is amazing. I put on some hiking trousers the other day. I haven't worn them for months. Felt comfortable in them. It's like ecstatic. I think, oh my God, but I wasn't even trying to do it. And I'm never going to change from the way I'm eating, ever. Because the transformation is quite spectacular, really.
So we've said a lot of really positive things. And for someone who's watching now, and they're thinking, okay, well, this all sounds really good. So you've got, your husband's almost got rid of his sleep apnea. The snoring's gone. You're not having any cramps. Your fingers are better. Your knuckles are better. Your eyes are better. All these things have got better. I just am struggling to believe that you can get all these things better just by changing the way you eat. What is your message to them?
Well, people look at me as if I'm an absolute nut, a lunatic, but I'm keeping it to myself. If I speak to someone that says they're doing some kind of diet, but they yo-yo, lose weight, go back on, come back off, but they look their age. I mean, I just think at the end of the day, when you look at those professors that were all stood on the stage and you see what the two carnivore professors look like, that tells you everything. And I won't preach to anybody. I haven't got the time in my life to that. But I will support anybody that wants to know more about this. I feel it's a duty to pass out this information and let everybody make their own decision. But I see it in ourselves and I feel quite amazed by it all. And 30 days isn't a long time for anyone to try this, especially if you've got an autoimmune problem like Crohn's. I mean, they're curing Crohn's with this, for God's sake. And the best ailment you can have for eating carnivore is any autoimmune illness. The general doctor won't tell you can ever cure Crohn's. For goodness sake, IBS, ulcerative colitis, all these issues, psoriasis, is being cured. And people need to know this. I mean, it's just got to be out there. And if I know that Kellogg's are paying doctors and paying people to provide prescribed drugs, for God's sake, this is a worrying world where money takes over our health. And I feel if I can get a platform to put this out there to people and just let them realize that they can be in control, then I've got to do that. You know, that's my plan.
Nice. So for someone who's getting started, how do you think they could maximize their success and stay the distance for that 30 days?
I think do what you believe in, eat what you believe in, go shopping, buy the meat, buy the ruminant meat, the beefs, the lambs, the bacon, the eggs. I mean, I'm not particularly paying organic. I'm buying meat I would normally buy. So, but the other day I went into a store that's opened up and people would know it's called farm stores. It's the basic, cheap, basic rubbish, to be honest, most of it. I walked 5 aisles, Dave, before I'd find anything I'd put in my mouth. But I did then find tins of fish. So I bought loads of tins of fish. I bought some red North Atlantic salmon, I think it was, and some pink salmon and some sardines, not in oil. Cut out the oil straight away, all your oil except for olive oil and butter. That's the biggest problem. I bought this tin of red salmon the other lunchtime. I thought, well, I ought to eat now. I've been fasting 18 hours, which is quite normal. I ate half the tin of salmon. Didn't finish it. It filled me up. So fish, obviously, if I don't have a lot of fish that week, I might take an omega supplement. But yeah, don't eat any of the oils. And bear in mind, if anyone out there goes in McDonald's or places like that, you might say that the burger's unhealthy because it can sit 25 years on a shelf and not degrade in its quality. But the worst thing than that is the oils that they're cooked in, the chips. The chips are cooked in this crap oil, especially as things are tight in hospitality. I know I've had pubs, restaurant, people cut back. If they're cutting back on changing their oil, those chips you're giving your kids are being cooked in some vile stuff. That oil could be used over and over again. And basically, that is the problem.
And just, you're reminding me of my McDonald's days now, like the stuff where they cook the chips and the fillet of fish and that kind of stuff in. That's not changed so often. It gets filtered every night.
Yeah.
And the thing is, at least when I was working there, I mean, it's a long time ago, but when I was working there, they would, they're like us as 15-year-olds, when we've got a choice of filtering or new oil, we'll go with filtering because there's less chance of getting burnt.
Yeah,
and
cool.
So it might be a week max as the oil's meant to be in there before it gets changed, but that could sit there for a month because we'd rather filter it than risk getting our arms burnt with when we're putting the shortening in.
Definitely. And with cost saving, a manager will easily say, don't change your oil as often because basically it costs too much money. But an interesting thing as well about myself and my lifestyle, I was invited to a gala dinner a little while ago and I thought, oh God, and it was promoted by a wine company and every course had a new wine. So I thought, right, I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to eat anything. I'm not going to go off plan. This is my plan now. So I sat down, first course came out, first wine. Pate. Oh, that's handy. Eat the pate only. The wine, swirled it around, smelt it, and thought, it smells nice. Yeah, it's okay. Didn't taste it. Put it down. Second course, piece of fish. Sea bass. ate the sea bass with a massive dollop of butter on it. Didn't eat the risotto underneath. Absolutely loved it. Smelt the wine. Fine. Third course came as a round steak of some kind. It was more reformed beef, but beautiful, on top of whatever else. I dolloped a load of butter on it, ate that. Absolutely to die for. I had butter on my side plate, and every waiter kept coming up saying, "Can we take your butter?" "No, please leave my butter. That's my treat." When the dessert came, I wasn't bothered. The dessert wine was for Navarra in Spain, which is absolutely to die for. But I smelt heavenly. So I just dabbed it on my tongue. I thought, oh my God, that is nice. That's all I did. I jumped in my car, drove back from Surrey, which is probably an hour's drive from where I am. I didn't have any problem with glare from the cars in my eyes. I drove all the way back fine. Normally I'd be like this because of the eye problems I've had. I came in the house at 20 past midnight. I felt as high as a kite. I was full from what I ate. I experienced an amazing night, got all dressed up, was there doing what I had to do. But back home, I felt even better. So there's ways.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, you're very focused on you want to get out there and share this message as well. So, can you tell us a bit more about your YouTube channel, please?
Yeah, as I say, I only did a very small post this morning. First time I've done it, just introducing myself. I've called myself English Carnivore Gal because I feel like a girl at heart, and that's Gal, G-A-L. And also, I've not met many people in the UK actually aware of carnivore. So I've set up my YouTube page. I've got an email, which is englishcarnivoregal@google.com. Oh, sorry, at gmail.com. I do apologise. So englishcarnivoregal@gmail.com. If anyone wants to ask me any questions or they want to know a bit more, I will be planning to talk to other people in the carnivore world as well to bring you insights. But if you want to know more, please don't listen to me fully, listen to the doctors. And Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Anthony Chafee, Dr. Mindy Peltz. I think all of these people, and yourself, Dave, on your site, make everything make sense, you know? And we're all educated. We've all got the opportunity to make our own decisions. So please just listen. You know, listen to what the facts are out there. Just to mention as well, Dave, I remember the other day when I was in my 30s, three of us girls, Angela, my friend, and Jo, my other friend, we all did a triathlon. We all did a leg of the triathlon each. And we were all very shocked to be classed as vets. We were 30. And mine was the cycling leg. So Angela was swimming, Jo was running. I was doing the Atkins at the time. And I thought, oh my God, I'm doing the Atkins. I better eat a Mars bar because I won't have the energy to get around my truck to do my cycle, which was 20 odd miles, you know, quite a full blown contribution to me, to the group. I ate a Mars bar because I thought I should. How disgusting. Because all of the knowledge tells you, you've got to have sugar, you've got to have sugar. Why did I? Because I lost 20 minutes off my time on the Atkins doing my triathlon. I mean, and when I look back on the Atkins, it was amazing, but I wasn't eating the fat. Now, what people must realize, you don't want to have bad poos. That's the one thing we don't want. If you eat the fat and you eat butter and you eat double cream, you'll have the best poos ever, and hardly ever. I go once every other day and I've never felt better. People straight away think, oh, you're going to have little rabbit poos and you're not going to be able to go, or you're going to be just gorged. You're not. It's amazing. Your body feels fabulous. We are truly humans that put stuff in our bodies, and we will be what we put in our bodies. And the one analogy that Ken Berry says if people smoke, it takes years, and in the end, it can kill them. With eating fruit and vegetables, we might not get instant problems. Over the years, it is killing your body. And when I look at the situation of everybody now, diabetes, I was in a place the other day and there were these young girls there, they were all huge, drinking cans of Monster, and on the buffet eating sausage rolls and pork pies and pastry and crap. I'm thinking we need to get that message out there. So if I can help anybody, that's my plan.
And just on that quote from Ken Berry, I've got another one for you. I can't claim this is my own. It's from Dr. Gary Fetke. But he says, if you eat by the food pyramid, you'll die by the food pyramid. And along the way, you'll look like the food pyramid.
That's so true, isn't it? It is so true. But I would not take on an argument with anybody about veganism, vegetarianism. If they want to do it, it's fine. But if you do the meat elimination for 30 days, just judge how you feel. Just give it to your body for 30 days. Why not? Anyone can do that if you care about yourself.
I think the thing is, though, you and I know the secret, and the secret is if you do it for 30 days, then you're not going to go back.
No.
Like once you've done 30 days, you're going to stick with it, right?
Yeah, hence I'm in today 50. We're both into day 50. That's 7 weeks. I'm feeling remarkable. So, I just think it's something we owe ourselves.
So, Annie, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing your story and Steve's story. I really appreciate your time.
No, you're more than welcome. And thank you so much for giving me a voice. Didn't know I had this voice inside me, but I just feel elated. So please, look out for me if you want to know any more. And obviously following Dave, you'll find out lots. And good luck with all your interviews, Dave. I think it's amazing what you're doing. And a good old UK boy, really, aren't you? Deep down.
That's right. That's right.